Alright, hey, so in this video here I'm going to show you a common task as an electrician, how to make up a junction box. First thing, I already have my box mounted securely with 2 screws. I have 2 screws so I cannot rotate the box. It's mounted firmly. I have 2 pieces of cable and 1 connector over here and 1 in the other. So this is going to be a 3-wire splice. We want to identify what size wire do we have first of all. We take a look at the cable, we can see that the jacket's white. We know that this is 14 gauge wire. Now the electrical code tells us that in any junction box, we need 6 to 8 inches of free conductor in the box. It means that from where the cable enters the box, we need 6 inches of wire. So if I take my tape measure, I'll come to where the wire enters and I'll measure out, and I'm gonna go with 8 inches. So you can see I have a little over 8 inches right there. That's a good length. This picture shows 6 inches of free conductor coming out of a junction box, which is the minimum the code tells us we need. Article 300.14. Why would we need 6 inches of free conductor in a box? I'll give you a couple of reasons. Number one, you need enough wire to do your work. If you only had 2 inches of wire coming out of the box, you're not going to be able to make a good splice. So that's a big one. Number two, if you ever needed to service this box in the future, you needed to connect another wire to it, you want to be able to do that easily. You don't want to have to use a pair of pliers to get a wire nut off. So good practice, basic electrical skills, 6 to 8 inches of free conductor in a junction box, a switch box, or a receptacle box. How I make up a junction box is first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to organize the wires. I'm going to spread them out. And now I have 3 different colored wires. As you can see, I have a bare, white, and black. I always make up the ground conductors first. Now there's 2 ways to ground the box. We have to connect these grounded conductors to the metal box. You can take one of the wires and you can wrap it around the green screw and then splice it. That's the easiest way. Or you can take another wire, which would be considered a pigtail. You can make a hook on it, throw it around the green screw, and then you could do a 4-wire splice. Here, I'm going to take my longest conductor and just wrap this one around the screw. I wrap it around there, and I'll take my flathead. Now we can form all these wires so they're all comfortable in one location. So I have my 3 wires. Now I'm going to splice. As you notice, I'm twisting to the right, clockwise. That is the way the wire nut is going to thread on, so you want all your splices to be twisted clockwise. Now I'm going to take a wire nut, thread it on to the right. That's a secure connection. Now I can take this and I can fold this in the back of the box out of the way. Now I'm going to move on to the white conductors, and I'm going to find a home for all those. I'm going to go to this lower left corner. Now I'll trim them all to the same length. I have wire strippers here, and this is solid 14 gauge, so I'm going to find this 14 gauge slot. I'm going to strip 1 inch off of each wire. It's okay if you have a little bit more, because we're going to trim it after. Better to have more than not enough copper showing. I'm going to line up the insulation on all 3. Take my pliers, grab it loose. Again, twist to the right. You want to get a nice looking spiral like that. Again, grab another wire nut, insert it over, twist to the right till it's tight. Very important that this wire nut covers all of the copper. We don't want to see any exposed copper on a splice. We'll do the blacks in the opposite corner. Common mistake is not having enough wire. Make sure you have 6 to 8 inches of wire. And another common mistake is that students will twist their splices to the left. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure you're twisting it to the right. So line up all the insulation again. Grab it loose at first, twist, twist, twist. Give it a final crank. Take your wire nut, drive it on. Now you can bend these in so they look nice and comfy. So if I had to go add something later, I can pull these out with ease and I could connect to this. You always want to look out for the next person and do good work. Finally, we need a cover for this box. So we're gonna grab 2 machine screws, 832. We're gonna start them. And there you have it. That's how you make up a junction box.